Good morning, everyone. I'm just making a quick Target run and just testing out the FSD experience. Because you remember my very first night, I actually drove by Target and it stopped being really early. So I'm just giving it a little accelerator to move up. Oh. Anyway, my very first night testing, I'm not sure why it's doing this. Not working well. Anyway, I went by Target my very first night, and it started to turn into the oncoming traffic lane I had to correct. Hasn't done that ever since, but I haven't recorded a drive over there for a while, so I figured I would do a quick little video. So I'm realizing why it's struggling a lot more in my particular city. So the road up here, this is Folsom Boulevard, SMUD is this whole area right here, and they're the power utility company in the area. There's not a really clear indicator of road edge there, like up here where you can see the bike lane, the line. Near SMUD, there's no markings, and it's just the gutter edge, and so the car actually drives in the gutter up here, and you'll see it. I would have let off the accelerator a little bit earlier there, but it didn't. But you see, there's the gutter here, and the car is driving in the gutter. Let me report that. You can see the little line, so visually I would be more towards the left, but we're driving kind of like in the gutter edge here. You can see it here. You can see there's no line visible on the side camera view because it's in the gutter. Yeah, and we have like this really wide area of road. I don't know what it's for, maybe a turnout area, but the car tries to center between the center line and that turnout, so it kind of does a weird shift there every time. I thought you needed to turn on the right signal here, but it hasn't been turning it on, which I find kind of strange. I normally would turn it on for me. Maybe the traffic law, because it's a yield right, you don't need it, but I thought you did. It's like not. So the reason why I overtook there is because there was a truck right there, and the car was just really hesitating to do that lane change for some reason. It didn't want to do it before the car in front of us, and it didn't want to do it before this car. And you know, that's why I don't do too many daytime drive videos, because it's honestly it's a little bit rough. It doesn't do the right decisions. That's why I do a lot more nighttime driving, because there's less traffic on the road, and I'm really trying to just make sure that it's driving correctly on the set roads. When you throw traffic into the mix, you know, you have people that are aggressive, honking at you because the car's just driving so slow. I actually saw that happen in one of Dirty Tesla's videos. Someone was honking at him because the car was hesitating to drive off. And that's exactly the same kind of experience I get. You know, people aggressively go around me because the car's just driving so slow. So I've been finding myself tapping the throttle a little bit more, because it just goes so slow sometimes, and you can tell it goes slow when it's trying to hunt. Like, you can see it hunting. Again, the turn signal keeps toggling on and off here. See? Just strange behavior. You know, that can be easily fixed. To me, as a driver, if I'm in the turn lane, my signal should just be on. It shouldn't be toggling on and off like this. And I think every video I've seen of people with FSD, you can hear the turn signal fluctuating on and off all the time. So this is something we're all experiencing. This is not something unique to me. So I tried, a lot of people have said switch the screen to night mode. Well, I switched it to night mode and it literally was so dark, the camera was, the screen looked black on the camera. So to me, oh man, this is struggling. There is something about this turn that it doesn't like, and it's happened here, gosh, nearly every single time that I've driven this way. There's something about the design of that roadway that's tripping autopilot up. I'm actually not going to turn on FSD, so I'm probably just going to cut it out here shortly. But, there's all this traffic behind me, and they're all like, what are you doing? Let me see if I can get it back on. See all this. So I'll re-engage after my little stop here and continue. Yeah, I don't like turning it on there. It's not worth showing some of these issues because like it's just so rough. Like it turned on the left turn signal there in front of a car that was going around. That's why I'm leaving these screens up so you guys can see this. Now the routing is showing me going to Folsom Boulevard, which is the next street. I don't go that direction because there's just so much traffic there all the time. So I always turn left here and then continue. So I'm just going to let it reroute and drive this way. You can see why. See how close this car is? Like it looks far on the screen, but in my mirror, I can't even see the front of the car. So this is one reason why I don't do a lot of daytime testing, like I was saying earlier, because in Sacramento, the drivers are a bit on the aggressive side. And I've had the car, kind of hesitate to make a right turn. And cars have literally gone around me and went in on the, like in the ditch gutter area. Oh my gosh. And, yeah, you saw that swerve. So that's why I don't do a lot of daytime testing, because it drives really, really slow. And drivers here in town are they're highly aggressive for some reason. Okay, let's turn it back on. Wasn't the smoothest turn, but I didn't have to intervene. I think I'm going to do just a lot of little quick drives around town today, and I'll just kind of like stitch everything together. And we haven't had an update. I heard that there's going to be another update next week. So, that's when I'm going to really do my longer drives and do the routes that I always do. But this is just kind of to show just the driving experience in general. It's not perfect. There's still a lot of issues, but the rate of improvement's really quick in my view. Yeah, because you remember these turns, it was like going to hit the curb pretty much all the time, every time I would turn. I haven't had to intervene on nearly as many turns as I used to do. So that's like a big deal for me. I even tweeted about that, like, that I feel like by end of year this will be out, because I mean the amount of interventions I'm doing personally between ever release is reducing. A lot of people are just not intervening. They're letting the car drive kind of strange. I'm not. I think it's important. So that was interesting. So you saw the line going around this blue car, because they were going 5 miles an hour, even slower over these speed bumps, which is ridiculous. Anyway.